Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Pallegney. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a wonderful day. So we're in the field, we've got the baler behind us, we're going to run back to field 9, the one that we harvested at the back end of the last episode, and get the straw picked up out of the field. Those of you who have been around my channel and my content for a wee while know that I don't like to waste time. We've got, it's a beautiful evening. August is obviously the first month of the save, so we don't have the 2-day months activated until next month. And I don't like to waste time. I don't like to knowing that we've got some rain coming in September. I'd like to try and get some stuff done while the sun's shining, as it were. And it's a lovely evening. It is August, so we've got a few hours of daylight ahead of us. So yeah, I don't like to waste time in that respect. Now I'm running auto drive here. I'm just hoping that auto driving is going to plough through a pedestrian. It is. Sorry. I'm running auto drive so that I can just drive and talk at the same time. Just makes life a little bit easier. But yeah, so there's a few jobs I'd like to squeeze into this in-game day. The first one being the picking up of the straw out of the field. Just get that done, get that loaded into the bale shed, and then that's that job ticked off, as it were. There's a couple more jobs that I would like to try and squeeze in, and I'll go through those when this job's done. One of them in particular, it's likely to give us just a little bit of an advantage. If I can get it done before midnight tonight, it'll just give us a bit of an advantage. So I'm going to try and get that done. We'll see where the time takes us. I don't think this is going to take us too long. I'm not expecting to get a lot of bales out of this field. We can see the swaths down there in the distance. Yeah, I'm not expecting to get a huge amount from it, so it shouldn't take us too long, I hope. But one thing I did want to do before we move forward, it's something that I'd been meaning to do in the last couple of episodes, and just because I was getting lost in the whole thing, creating the content and just planning what I was going to be doing, I kind of forgot to do it. But I wanted to give a big, massive shout out to my good friend, long-time supporter of the channel, and all-round legend, Chimera. It's something I'd been promising to do over the last few weeks since the release of this map, and me deciding to do a series on it. Initially, I was being quite indecisive as to whether I was going to be starting a series on this map. And through lots of conversations with Chimera and just reminding myself of the beauty of the place, I saw Daggerwin's early look tour video of the place, and it just reminded me what a beautiful map it is. And on top of that, like I say, throughout all the conversations I was having with Kay, I just had this little voice in the back of my head, just going, "Do it, do it." And she was literally telling me to do that as well at some point. She was, just convincing me that it would be worth doing it. So I did say that I would jokingly, publicly blame her for me doing this series. So this is me now sticking to that promise. So, mate, if you're watching, hope you're well. This is entirely your fault. So there we go. Right. So, like I say, we're gonna crack on with this straw picking up. I'll throw a bit of music behind it. I'm going to put the whole thing into a bit of a time lapse. I'm going to run the Fiat with the baler, and we're going to run back to the yard, pick up the class that's ready, sitting and waiting with the front loader, the bale spike, and the trailer to come and pick up. Like I say, I'm not expecting to get a lot of bales out of this. I'm not going to guess what kind of number we're going to get, but yeah, I'm not expecting huge numbers. But at least if I get it done now, then this field is essentially empty and ready to be worked on come next month. So yeah, time to crack on. Let's get doing it. There we go, job done. 6 bales we got off that field at 7,500 litres a bale, gave us an extra 45,000 litres. So, very happy with that, it's all good. So the quantities of stuff that we've got sitting in the bale shed in front of us now is it's half decent now, to be fair. Let's just turn that engine off so I'm not talking over it. Mine's not to impale myself on my bale spike there, but with what we've got now. So we've got one 5,000 litre bale of straw. That came from the original field that we started off with, you know, at the very first episode where I picked all those up. The bales that the map gave us to start with. We've got one of those left in here because we put the balance when we first got them into the cow shed for bedding. We've got 3 6,500 litre bales of hay left in here. Now that is because in between episodes, as some of you who watched the previous episode will know, had a bit of a nightmare when it came to updating the game mid-episode, as it were, which was my mistake. But had I actually looked at the mod hub after updating the game, I'd have solved all my problems, because the info display extension mod that was causing me the problem had an update there ready and waiting. So yeah, that was entirely my fault for not being thorough enough. But yeah, so what I've done in between episodes, obviously, as those of you who watched the previous episode will know, we tedded up this field of grass. We turned it all into hay, but I couldn't put I was struggling to get the bales of hay into the TMR mixer there because the trigger point is particularly small. But sure enough, and also I was having the problem with the game crashing. But sure enough, when I've obviously everything's now been updated properly, the mods are now updated, the game's working absolutely fine. And like I say, in between episodes, I did just throw a handful of bales into the TMR mixer. And they kind of went in perfectly, one after the other. There wasn't really too much of a problem. So I think maybe it was just pure happenstance in that, you know, it was something to do with the problems I was having in that particular moment. So either way, bottom line is the TMR mixer is now full of 80,000 litres of straw. The balance that we had left was 3 bales of hay at 6,500 litres. So we've got 19,500 litres of hay sat in here, ready to keep filling that TMR mixer with. We've got 43 5,500 litre bales of grass fermenting into silage. That brings that total to 236,500 litres, so we've got plenty of that for now. But we've got a bit of time ahead of us before those ferment, obviously. At the minute, the only food the cows have in their shed is, if we just pop into the menu and have a quick look, just to remind ourselves, they've got just over 13,500 litres of meadow. So there's a very, very strong chance that I'm going to have to buy in a handful of silage bales from the dealership, from the shop, just to see us through for X amount of time until our own silage has been fermented, of course. But they are costly. If I was to go for the 5,000 litre square bales, which makes kind of sense, they're just under €3,000 each. So, you know, I'm going to have to spend, if I get, you know, obviously 3 of those bales is, give or take a bit, it's 15 grand in it. So we've not got a huge amount of money in the bank, of course. We've got some, but we've not got a huge amount. So, yeah, we need to get a little bit more money into the bank. And obviously, again, finishing off, as you can see, we've got 20 bales of straw at 7,500 litres. So we've now got 155,000 litres of straw sat in here to be added into the for cow bedding. But of course the TMR mixer is also full of straw as well, so this is now our backlog, as it were, so that's excellent. But following on from the last couple of episodes, I want to thank all of you for your comments, obviously in both of the videos. There does seem to be an overwhelming response regarding the secret mission on the map. There has been what I believe to be a relatively overwhelming response of people saying, yeah, go do it, it's a bit of fun, I suppose. And for FARMERSIM, I suppose it is something a little bit different. A little, you know, even if it only takes a few minutes, it's a break from the norm, as it were. So I am considering giving that a go. And then what that does mean is that the pallets and things that I'd found in time-saving stock check, the cement bricks, the long planks, the prefab walls, and the wood beams, apparently that will, if we do this secret quest, that will give us access to those bits and bobs. And then I can have them and sell them, because it's not a mistake, like I think I said in the last episode. It's not an error, so I wasn't going to profit from that error. It's a genuine thing that MA7 has put into the map. So we've got, what have we got there? Quick maths, we've got 30, 32, 37, 38, 48, just over 50 grand in, you know, unique pallets, cement bricks, etc. So with that in mind, I think it might be a little bit of fun. Now, the couple of jobs that I said I'd like to try and squeeze into this in-game day earlier on, that's one of them. But I think, again, to make it a little bit more interesting, we might have a go at it at night. Now, I want to give a big shout out again to another viewer. Hello, mate, if you are watching. Adam EH9FZ, who left a comment in the first episode pretty much telling me exactly what we needed to do in respect of following this kind of secret quest. It's relatively straightforward, but essentially we've got to go and find a statue of a goat that is located somewhere in farmland 116, which is a forestry area. I think I'm staring at it right now. It's that area over there. It's somewhere in the trees. I don't know where it is. I haven't been to find it. I didn't want to spoil the surprise, as it were. I didn't want to know where it was ahead of time. So, but we essentially go to that statue. We interact with it for a moment or two, and then what we need to do is make our way to the grain mill, which is somewhere over in that direction. And once we've interacted with that statue, it'll give us access to a door that isn't ordinarily accessible, and we'll be able to access those pallets. Now, I'm hoping if those pallets are within that grain mill, because I have looked around that grain mill before, not for this purpose, but I'm hoping that I'm assuming you can, like, get them out of there, but the door that you get access to is just a normal size, door. It's not a big shed door, as it were, so that if these pallets are inside that grain mill, what I am going to do in preparation is we'll make the trip out there with the tractor, this tractor, the class, and the front loader, and the pallet fork, and the trailer behind us, and yeah, assuming everything goes as I think it might go, we'll be able to do something with those pallets in due time. So that's what we're going to do. But the other job that I do want to get done, the one that I mentioned that I want to get done before midnight, is the rolling of the grass. If I can get the grass roller out into these two fields that we cut last episode, and get the growth promoted ASAP, doing that before midnight, I think should technically be the right thing to do, because it means we'll be able to, when we jump into September, that grass growth is going to be one step ahead. One step ahead of where it wouldn't be if I don't get it done before midnight, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's the plan. I think it's a half decent plan, maybe. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But like I say, so first and foremost, we're going to get the grass rolling done. It's only 10 to 6. There's still some lovely blue skies up above us, so it makes perfect sense just to get that done. So, like I say, in preparation, we're just going to drop that bale spike off there. We'll pick up the pallet fork and just hook this up to the flatbed trailer and have this sat waiting, because we're going to jump into the Fiat. We're going to hook that up to the grass roller, and we shall fill this beautiful French village's nice, peaceful, tranquil evening atmosphere with the sounds of wastegates and turbo whistles from that awesome Fiat. Right, so let's hook this thing up here and just let it sit for a bit. I'll tell you what, another thing that I really quite like about the FARMERSIM 25 and the new features and additions. This little area that we're in here, I painted down here with mud, just from the construction menu, of course. But because of the soil deformation, the mud texture that you paint down reacts with the soil deformation feature of the game. So each episode, obviously, it resets itself when you jump out of the game, of course. But each episode, like when I'm reversing back into these little sections where my machinery is, you get all the soil deformation. So you get big trenches that you dig with your tyres, and I just love that little attention to detail. It's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. It is a shame it kind of resets itself at every time you jump in and out of the game, but it is what it is. It's all good. Right. So this is a noisy thing, isn't it? Lovely noises, in my personal opinion. I do love the sound of a wastegate. There we go. Let's just drop that there for now, shall we? We'll go hook up our Delbo Field grass roller and get these two fields done, and hopefully, like I say, if I'm not mistaken, that grass growth that it promotes should all be done. Because if I was to wait till September, it wouldn't potentially be we'd be essentially one step behind. You see where I'm going with that? It does kind of make sense in my head. I'm sure I'm not wrong in thinking that. So, we'll get both of these ones done. Let's get this unfolded. And then hopefully by that time, the night will have set in a little bit, perhaps. We might wait a bit for it to be dark a bit, but I just think it'd be a bit of fun. Don't you? Just going and having a wander around the woods at night time with the old flashlight. Just make it a bit of fun, don't you think? Right, so, usual story. Few tunes now. Get this rolling done. See you soon. Right, there we are. Job done. So I'll just pull out the field here and jump into the PDA very quickly. But as you can see from the data in the bottom right-hand box, it says we've now gained the extra level of fertilisation, so we're now 100% fertilised. It does still recognise that the crop is still grass, of course, but if I jump into the PDA, as you'll see, the growth stage, it's kind of stripped the field, which I believe that's normal, is it, when you run a grass roller? But because I've done it now, when we jump over into September, that should now be a nice deep stage of green, ready to almost ready to harvest again. I think it's one notch behind ready to harvest, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there we go, all done. Like I say, I'm glad I've done it now as opposed to doing it in the middle, you know, at the beginning of next month, because then we'd have to wait a whole load of time for this stage to pass until the next one. So that's why I kind of figured it would be best to get it done before midnight. Now, interestingly as well, as I was whizzing around making that cinematic, I found one of my hay bales in the river. It had obviously dropped, you know, with it being a round bale, it had obviously just rolled itself down the hill. And because of the way I'd done it, when I'd ran the Fiat with the baler, baling up, as it were, when I was doing the other field work, I obviously didn't notice that one of the bales had dropped. So I did have a search around to just make sure I wasn't missing any more. But sure enough, no, just the one. It was just sitting down there, getting nice and wet. So that brings the total of hay that we have sitting in the shed now from 19,500 litres up to 26,000 litres. So that's brilliant. So with plus the 80,000 that we've got in the TMR mixer, that's 106,000 litres of hay we've got across the farm. So that's pretty decent. But now it's 7:30 at night. I think it is sufficiently dark enough to go hunting for goats in the woods. So yeah, I think we're going to go and do just that. I think it'll be a bit of fun. It's certainly something different to do, having never done anything like this in Farming Simulator. So, I'm going to get this lot back to the farm. Like I mentioned before, we're going to take the clars with the front loader and the pallet fork and the low loader trailer Because if we are successful in completing this little interesting mission, I suppose, we're going to need to be able to pick up some pallets. And we are going to sell them straight away, purely because time-saving stock check tells us that right now this is the best time to sell all those products. So with that in mind, if any of you are playing this map and you do like the idea of doing this mission, it would seem that August, the first in-game month, is the right time to do it, really. So I'm not going to faff around tidying things up for now. I'm just going to turn the lights off, drop that off there, and jump in this wee beastie for now. There we are. So let's level those off for safety and all that. Right, let's go hunt as a goat. Right, so you can access farmland 116 by either going down to the bottom there, down towards the dairy, or going up here. But I think I'm going to go up here past the past this little sheep farm here, and because I think it'll be easier just to walk downhill than it will to walk uphill. Obviously not in game, I know that much, but yeah, it's somewhere in these woods to our left, I believe. So let's just see if there's somewhere up here I can pull up and potentially turn around at the end. Yeah, so we'll use that little lane there to turn around. So let's just kind of pull up here, turn my lights off. Right, or am I a little bit early? Have I dropped a little bit before the farmland? Just turn my torch on. Let's just consult the PDA very quickly. Right, so we're here. Okay, so the farmland does start kind of here, so we do need to go kind of rummaging into these woods. Now, I've got no idea if I'm looking for one of those little kind of statues that you see in the construction menu, like one of those little ornamental statues. I think there's a couple of eagles, I think, and a few other little, like, you know, gargoyles or whatever they are. If I'm looking for one of those, or a flying tree. Nope, we're definitely not looking for a flying tree. There you go. Stand under here and count how old it is, couldn't we? Right, but yeah, this little bit of land did seem particularly narrow. Let me just get my bearings again. Yeah, okay, so it kind of widens out a bit here. This might take a while, mightn't it? Thinking about it. We're right up towards the top edge of it again. Oh, hello. What's that? That looks relatively goat-shaped. Well, that didn't take too long, did it? Brilliant. That kind of stood out because it looks like it's a... well, maybe bronze or something like that. I don't know. Copper. Statue. Found. Goat. Here we are. Brilliant. Oh, cool. Okay, so I need to bring up my F1 menu because apparently I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of control. Pray to the Dahu to open the door of ... Okay. Now I need to be mindful of J-Star's advice not to cancel the praying early, because apparently that's what he did a couple of times and had to do it 1 or 2 times. But yeah, they did say something about the glowing goat, as it were, so that's definitely what it's doing now. Right, so I'll just wait for that cancel prayer instruction in the top left to go away, and then I can only assume that I have prayed sufficiently to the goat. Wonder how long this is going to take, actually. Let's turn the torch off. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? Well, this is a first for Farming Simulator. Praying to a goat. But hopefully it's going to net us somewhere in the region of about 50,000 euros. So, goodness me, this is a long prayer, isn't it? Come on. I don't want to move in case it cancels the prayer, so I'm just going to, well, stand here and pray. Come on, it can't take that long, surely. Well, it can, and it clearly does. So I've been stood here now for 9 minutes, almost. And it's still just... It just says cancel prayer, so I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to cancel it. I'm just going to leave it. And we're going to make our way out of here. Not with that. With the torch. Find our way up to the road. And make our way down to the mill. I probably just wasted a load of minutes of my life just standing staring at a glowing goat, haven't I? Which I suppose is relatively amusing. Let's turn that off now. We found the road. The tractor's down here somewhere. So we'll get to the tractor, and I'll pick you up when we're somewhere near the mill. Now I do know where we've got to do. I do know roughly what we've got to do at the mill. I know that we've got to go around the back of it and access a door from the bridge. Now I know about that one because I know where the bridge is because I filmed it for the cinematics that I made for the map tour. I remember it clearly, so I know what I've got to do there. But I'm just hoping that we're going to be able to open one of those one of the big doors at the front of the mill. I'm assuming that's going to be... We're going to be able to do that. So that we can get these pallets out. So, fingers crossed this works. See you down there in a few minutes. Right, okay, here we are at the mill. I think what I'm just going to do is just see if I can pull up somewhere. I'm just going to pull up at that one actually for now. No, I'm not. I'm going to hit the wall. Right. There's not as much space there as I thought there was. Let me make a complete Horlicks of this. 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I think I'll just see if I can squeeze in there. Straighten up a bit again. Painful to watch. Shut up, you. Right, that'll do. Now I know I need to get out and go round the back, which I don't think I can do round that way. I do love this water wheel. Really, really cool. So, we need to stick on the bridge, get to the other side of the river, and I think just... Yeah, it's that bridge there, so... Just wander around here. Try and be polite to the neighbouring farmer and stay off his crop. But hopefully, I do hope this has worked. Because that prayer was lengthy. I'm still praying, it would seem. So, oh, the door's already opened. Oh, brilliant, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, man, right. Wow, I didn't realise there was this many. I thought there was going to be like... Okay, and we get a load of seed as well. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, man, right, okay. I was expecting to be able to do all this in one trip. So there we can open the gate. Oh, decent. This is cool, right. I mean, it doesn't change the amount that we're going to get. I know what we're going to get. Now, we need to take all these cement bricks. We need to take to the landscaper, the prefab walls also to the landscaper, and these wood beams also to the landscaper. And the long plank. Which ones are the long plank? Actually, these are the long planks, aren't they? Yeah. Is that right? No, these are the wood beams. And these are the long planks. Right, so the long planks I want to take to the carpentry sell point. These, the prefab walls, and the cement bricks want going to the landscaper. And these are coming home with me. Brilliant. I didn't appreciate the seed. So what we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what's that? 12,000 litres of seed, I think, roughly. Oh, that's mega. Not 12,000. 8,400, sorry. Terrible mathematics. So, right, well, this is going to take me a little bit longer than I'd initially planned, isn't it? So, what's going to be the best way of doing this? I think I'll, well, the trailer's good where it is, isn't it? Let's turn that on. Disconnect the trailer. Right, and I'll whiz around for a few minutes. Sorting this out. Right, first load. We've got the cement bricks and the wood beams. Now, the landscaper that we want to go to is somewhere up here. The carpentry place is just behind there, on our right-hand side. And the landscaper, there's 2 points at the landscaper. I think one of them's clearly the buy point. And one of them is the cell trigger, I think... Oh, slow down, slow down. That's us there, so... Let's just pull back a bit there. Hope they don't close early. It's 8 o'clock at night and I'm going to try and sell a load of stuff. So, the trigger I want, I believe, is... I think it's here. If I just unstrap them... Boom! There we go. 22,037 euros. Brilliant. Right, so... That's trip 1. I'm going to need to move the stack of long planks out the way first because they're in the way to get to the prefab walls. But if I can get them all on, I will. But I think the prefab walls is one entire trailer load. So whether I to try and reduce as many trips as possible, whether I put the long planks on and then load up all that seed, take the seed home, take the planks to the carpentry, and then go back for the prefab walls. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, though, that seed was a nice surprise. I wasn't... I'm pretty sure, obviously, that time-saving stock check would have told me that I had X amount of seed, but... because I do have a few pallets over on the farm still that the game gave us when we started. But, yeah, I wasn't looking for seed, was I? So, right. And I think as well, it's quite difficult moving in and out of these narrow doors, so I think I'm just going to pop the trailer here on the grass verge. Pull it back a bit, because we don't need to be quite so far away. That'll do, I hope. Right, so we'll get this lot done now as well. And yet again, I'll pick you up in a few moments' time when we're all loaded up. On our way back into the town. Right, that's the seeds dropped off at the farm. So let's get these long planks, or planks long, as they're described, round the corner to the carpenters. So that should only take a matter of moments. I believe the tip trigger is round the back of the building. That one there. We can hang a right down into here. If I jump out of cab mode for this, just to give myself a fighting chance. Pull up about there, unstrap, boom, 12,195 euros. Right, excellent. So, last trip, let's go get these prefab walls, take them around to the landscaper, and then that should be us. Pretty much done. We're at 92,253 now. That's brilliant. Really happy with that. So, see you in a second. Right, all loaded up with the prefab walls now. Let's just get ourselves around the corner here and get these offloaded nice and easy. And then this really does stand us in just a really nice position for starting off September. So, out of cab for this one again, I think. Let's just pull up nicely right about there. And fingers crossed. Boom. 112,537 euros, 2284 for that stack of walls. Really happy with that. That'll do. Yeah, I'm glad I've done that little secret quest, quite frankly. I know I said it in the very first episode that I thought they were a mistake and that I wasn't going to profit from them, but now that I know it wasn't a mistake and it's genuinely there for an interesting reason, I suppose, I'm really happy we've done it. So now we're sat at 112,537 euros, which is brilliant. And we've got a load of extra seed as well, which was a bit of a Brucey bonus. Really happy with that. So yeah, like I say, stands us in good stead for September. Now what we've got the opportunity to do now in September is we can drill barley, wheat and canola. So we've got that to come. Potentially our field of sorghum should be ready to harvest. And we've got a bit of cultivating obviously to get done as well, and all other odd jobs on top of that as well. So plenty to crack on with, but it's been a good, the first month of the series, August, we've made good use of the time, as I like to do. 10 to 9. It's a good long day. So for this episode though, ladies and gentlemen, I think I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed it and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. It does do wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 and you like the idea of helping out a creator and supporting the channel, as always, I would be hugely appreciative. And of course, if any of you are in the market for an online server, and again, you like the idea of supporting the channel, please consider using my G-Portal affiliate link, which again will be in the video description below. Any help and support there, as always, would be hugely appreciated. So thank you very much for your time again, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.